GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Here we go. Hey, everything on three. Number three. Win on one. Oh, win on three. 1, 2, 3. Win. Hey, I'm next up to that. Eyes on three. Anything on 3 and 1. Everything.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast. It's your boy, Chaz, and almost as always, I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Jay Coleman. Jay, how are you, buddy?
What's up?
Okay, I say almost because you're taking a week off on us next week.
Yeah.
Right? No,
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So we're getting plans in place to replace you permanently, temporarily, and but you're going to come back in next week for sure. So don't freak out, people. Just don't freak out when Jay's not here in a couple of weeks. I didn't murder him, I swear.
Not yet, anyway.
Well, what I have to say to that is, bush, but none for you. You're not drinking today, so we don't really have anything to set the table with. So slow news day, other than Zach Wilson banging moms.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, that's the truth.
That's literally the only news thing in the NFL.
Well, we decided to put this one on the end because, you know, we're big Bills fans. This is the AFC East and NFC East preview, or breakdown, whatever it is. What are they? What they is what they is.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about the Bills an awful lot. So that's why the Bills are going to be at the end. So hold your all horses, people. We'll get to the Bills talk, but we really don't have anything to say. So this might be a long episode or it might be a short episode. So why don't we just check out our sponsors, and we'll be right back after this. And we're back. Thank you for the sponsors, all you sponsors. And I get offended sometimes when McDonald's is a sponsor, but that's just, a personal thing. Not because I own a burger restaurant, because, diabetes, bro. Fuck McDonald's. But they're a great sponsor if they're our sponsor. So we're going to start with the NFC East. And what better place to start than the Philadelphia Eagles? Why don't you read me their starting lineup, Jay?
All right, QB, we got Jalen Hurts and your boy Gardner Minshew backing him up. Running backs, Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott. Wide receivers, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, Zach Pascal, and then tight end Dallas Goedert and J.J. Whiteside.
Oh, he's listed as a tight end now. He used to be a receiver.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Okay, so was Miles Sanders listed as the first running back? I just want to make sure. Okay, so there is actually a lot to talk about. Well, biggest acquisition, obviously, was A.J. Brown.
For sure.
So, I mean, there's nothing really else to talk about. Do you have any other key additions, really?
No, not really.
Yeah, so we'll get to him when we get to him. Start with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is so aggressively targeted. Either people love him or hate him in fantasy football. There's no in between, and I feel I'm in between on him because he runs, and he was throwing a little better last year, but now he's got weapons upgrade, so I think I like him this year. I'm not being aggressive on him like some people are taking him in the top 5 quarterbacks. I don't know if I'm there.
No, definitely not.
But he might be 6 for me. I mean, I think I'm taking Jalen over Kyler.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm taking Jalen over, Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott.
Really?
I think I'm taking Jalen, just after Brady.
You're really taking him over Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I think so. Just because the running. I mean, the running is... Jalen, because of his running and his weapons upgrades, has the... Not calling it, but he has the ability to be the number 1 fantasy quarterback.
Jalen over Trey Lance?
Yes. Yeah, that's an easy one for me, just because of the... there's no controversy with him, like as in like Jimmy Garoppolo behind Trey Lance. He's got better weapons than he did pretty decent last year. And now he added a monster, A.J. Brown. I mean, you saw all his weapons. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, that's a Heisman Trophy winner. Good tight end, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he doesn't have to throw the ball like Aaron Rodgers. He has to throw the ball like decently to pretty good receivers and run his ass off. So, I don't know. Are you lower on him than that? I mean, obviously you don't sound like you're like top 6 on him, but.
No, I don't think I'm top 6, but I'm in between on him. Like, with A.J. Brown and stuff, I definitely think he's probably going to have a better year than he did previously.
I mean, he did pretty well last year. I think he finished top 6 or something last year. There was a while he was like the number 1 quarterback. And he just, I don't think he's a great NFL quarterback, but this is fantasy football.
Yeah.
And you get the running yards and you get the touchdowns, and like the team in general is on an upward swing. You know what I mean? They got better options. Their second year with their coach, they should be better. Their division is pretty garbage.
Yeah.
We're going to be coming up looking at this. I mean, you know what we didn't do last week, by the way? We didn't pick the winners of the divisions.
Oh, we didn't?
No, we skipped on that. So maybe we'll do both. Maybe we'll do both at the end of this. We'll pick the NFCs from the last. Well, we pretty much know Tampa.
Yeah.
From on that side, and then the AFC one will wait. But like that's going to be the harder one to pick from the last week. So
it's fucking Adam's fault.
Yeah, it's always Adam's fault. So, Jalen Hurts definitely, I think, has the ability to be the number 1 fantasy quarterback, but he also has the ability to be the number 14, right? He could be anywhere. And that's something to think about now. Their running backs are a fucking shit show from last year. Do you know, off the top of your head, unless it's written there, how many touchdowns that your boy Miles Sanders had last year?
No.
The same amount as you. So that sucks.
Well, because fucking Jalen Hurts is getting all the touchdowns.
Because Jalen Hurts and Boston Scott was getting them all. And then Kenny Gainwell was, I don't know, 3rd, 4th round rookie running back for them last year. So Miles Sanders scares me. And I don't think he's going to be on any of my teams. I just look at him in these mock drafts and I'm just like, next. I'm just skipping. I always skip him. I don't want him. I had him since he was a rookie in the one league, and I just have never drafted him since.
Yeah, I've had him before.
He's not impressive ever to me. He's not.
Does jack shit, kind of.
I would rather I feel Kenneth Gainwell late in the draft is a better pick than him, just because Kenneth Gainwell is going to maybe catch some passes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't buy into Miles Sanders, and I feel like if you trade all this money for if you trade what you traded and then gave A.J. Brown all this money, I don't think you plan on running the ball a lot more.
No, definitely not.
Than you already have, right? So I'm out on Miles Sanders. I mean, I have to rank him at some point.
Yeah.
So I might be pretty low on him.
Yeah.
But I'm out on him. Sounds like you're out on him too.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, he's got to be exceptional value. Like, backup's got to be going. And then I'll be like, okay, all right, I'll take him there. That's where he is for me. Now, obviously, we got to talk about the 2 receivers. I mean, this is a great 1-2 punch of A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. A big bruiser, outside receiver, smaller slot guy. I mean, people forget that Devontae Smith won the damn Heisman. And no non-quarterbacks do that anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously the guy is talented, has all the talent in the world. He's not a number 1, though. And when he was in college, he wasn't really the number 1. He was surrounded by, like, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs. He was this guy. He was a receiver, Henry Ruggs. And, Devontae Smith won the Heisman with those guys on his team. So... But at the same time, when you have all those weapons, who you're going to cover? Well, you're getting there now with the Eagles.
Yeah.
You got A.J. Brown. You got, what the hell's the tight end's name? Drawing a blank.
Goddard.
Yeah, Dallas Goddard. So, that's going to free Devontae Smith up. But I'm still taking A.J. Brown before him. I mean, no doubt.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown, I'm salty with from last year because I traded away Debo for him last year, early in the year. And so I'm salty. And he really wasn't that good last year, A.J. Brown. I mean, he was. And he wasn't. He got hurt a lot. He got injured. But I was high on him, and I still love the talent. I love the size. A.J. Brown specifically won me a lot of money last year, though, in daily fantasy football because there was just a Thursday night game. It was the Titans against somebody. And A.J. Brown had one of his, 18 receptions, 230-yard games, and he was my MVP. And when you do MVP in daily fantasy, they get like 1.5 points as a point as opposed to 1. So thank you for that, A.J. Brown. I need to keep my salt in check about him because people, new offense, new quarterback. Is it a quarterback upgrade? I don't know. He's leaving Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, very true.
How could that be a downgrade? If anything, it's a lateral move, right?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, I don't know. I mean, what are your first thoughts on him being over there now?
I don't think he's going to be any worse. I mean, Tannehill's a game manager, so I mean, Hurts is way more athletic and everything else. So
the more that I think about the Eagles, the more I'm starting to like them as a team, and we need to keep this in mind when we get to the end and pick our winners. Because I think they're contenders. So I'm not choosing them yet. I don't have my choice yet because obviously there's another team that could take the division. So. But that's it. Not another 2 or 3 teams. So, and then Goddard, I don't know. People like him. He's obviously a talented player. They traded away Zach Ertz to make it the Dallas Goedert show. And I remember everybody in the fantasy community getting all excited and be like, he's finally free. Zach Ertz is gone. And he was fine. Right? There's a chance that maybe Jalen Hurts isn't the best quarterback to throw to tight ends, and there's some quarterbacks like that. They don't throw to tight ends a lot, so I don't know. I think I'm kind of out on Goddard, but to an extent, he some people look at him like he's a top 6 or 7 tight end. I think he might be, and we'll find out next week. For me, 8 or 9.
Yeah, that's
right?
That's where I would probably say.
Just off the top of my head, I don't know.
He's between 8 and 10 for me.
I'd still take him over Freiermuth.
Yeah,
maybe, but that's where I am on him. And I don't know. He just doesn't excite me yet. But maybe he's looking for a breakout season now. A whole season with Zach Ertz being gone. Jalen's got to take a step up, throw in the ball more. So I think the Eagles are a little more exciting team now that we've talked about him.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to anything else you want to say on these Philadelphia.
No.
Are you putting them in contention to win the division, you think?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility, I think.
We'll go into that more unlike last week. All right, we'll move on to the New York Giants, the New York Football Giants. On my biggest acquisition here, I have Tyrod Taylor as their biggest acquisition, and it's something to think about. Everyone's going to shit on Daniel Jones, but who else did they acquire on yours there? Anybody?
They got Matt Breida, Robert Foster.
2 former Bills, along with Tyrod Taylor.
It's a bunch of nothing really special.
Well, that's because obviously their new head coach is Brian Daboll, the old offensive coordinator of the Bills, who helped level up Josh Allen, right? So can he do that with Daniel Jones, right? Can he do that with Daniel Jones? Can he get this team better and make this team a little more relevant and unlock the potential that Daniel Jones has? This is a first round drafted quarterback and a lot of potential, and he's already going into his 4th year now and has been, I would say, average or below, right?
Yeah.
Fair to say?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's horrible, but average to below.
Yeah.
To below average. But now, read me their starting lineup.
It's not great. Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor, running back, your fucking man crush, Saquon Barkley. Yeah, that's right. And Gary Brightwell behind him, Matt Breida. Wide receivers, Kenny Galladay, Wan'Dale Robinson, Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, and tight end Ricky Seals-Jones.
That's a seal noise. Tight ends are out. I mean, they lost Evan Ingram, so whatever. I think they had Kyle Rudolph last year, too.
Yeah, they did.
Daniel Jones for me, we've talked about this before. You know what? I'd put my money on Daniel Jones as a backup for me, late backup. Give him a few 3, 4, 5 weeks, and if he sucks, cut him.
Yeah.
Because maybe he can level up with Dayball, right? Because if you look about it, he hasn't obviously. We know I have a man crush on Saquon, but you can't deny Saquon's awesome. He's just hurt. That receiver core is actually sick. That's a lot of highly drafted. So Kenny Golladay, they gave a big contract to. Wan'Dale Robinson was like a second-round pick. Who's the next in line? Kadarius Toney was a first-round pick last year.
Sterling Shepard,
we know he's a good PPR guy. And then the other guy, Darius Slayton, was a second-round pick like 3 years ago. So that's actually a pretty sick receiving lineup that hasn't done much, but that's, I don't know. They could all be unlocked with Dayball in the passing game, because they haven't had a good offense. I'm not saying that these guys are going to be fantastic, but I mean, I think Dayball went into a decent situation to like turn this offense around and make himself look like an offensive genius.
Yeah, but he had Josh Allen. Daniel Jones is no Josh Allen.
But Josh Allen was actually less of a prospect than Daniel Jones, right? So like, think about it. So
I guess. It depends on.
You just never know. You never know what's going to happen. I'm not saying Daniel Jones is Josh Allen, but Daniel Jones can move. Daniel Jones had like, an 80-yard run last year? He can move. He can throw the ball. I don't think he's anything to get excited about. But with those weapons, man, like if he can unlock a couple of those weapons, like Kadarius Toney had a crazy game last year. Golladay basically never seen the field, so you can't even count him. You know, add in the fact that they got real nice. I hope that recorded everything, throwing your phone on the ground. Add in the fact that they might have the top 2 talented running back in the NFL. When it comes to pure talent, like this offense could be something. Or it could be as crappy as it has been the last few years.
Yes.
So they're an exciting team for me to watch.
Yeah, you would say that no matter what because of Saquon.
Yeah, but honestly, though, it's more than Saquon because there's something I've always liked about Daniel Jones. Kadarius Toney is exciting. You know, Kenny Golladay is kind of just like Saquon. Just he's great, but he's hurt. You know, Sterling Shepard's a dog when it comes to PPR, but I think he also tore his ACL. So I don't really know. You know, and Wan'Dale Robinson, their new rookie, who knows, man? There's a lot of could be excitement or could be garbage on this team. And
yeah,
it's exciting from the fantasy aspect to see where it goes and what happens with it.
I don't think they'll be worse than last year, but don't really have high hopes for them either.
Sometimes a coach is all you need to get things together. So literally their biggest signing is Brian Daboll to me. He really is.
Yeah.
I mean, if he could, just imagine if he can make, not Daniel Jones isn't going to be Josh Allen, but imagine if he could make Daniel Jones like 75% of Josh Allen. That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that could be something. I mean, in Brian Daboll's offense, you know, everybody was doing good. 37-year-old Emmanuel Sanders was busting out, right? Like, all our running backs have, as the Bills, you know, have had their moments. Singletary's looked good. You know, Zach Moss maybe looked good once. Matt Breida has looked good. You know, so we just have to see what this offense can do. Y'all know I love Saquon. So, like, and I'm telling you, dude, Saquon is starting to fire up on mock draft boards. I have, when the season started with mock drafts, Saquon was going in the fourth round, right? I saw him today in a mock draft. I do go like 6th pick in the 2nd round. So, I mean, he is flying up draft boards now.
He'll be hurt soon.
Can't live in fear of injuries always. You just can't do it. I don't know. But I don't think the team is up for any to win the division or anything, but I think they can surprise some people if Dayball can unlock something from Daniel Jones. Because he obviously believes in him a little. They only brought in Tyrod, who we know he's not the answer, and they didn't draft a quarterback this year. So I'm not saying they buy in Daniel Jones long term, but they're giving him a shot. Yeah. Right? So it's just interesting to see. You want to move on to your favorite team, the Cowboys?
Sure.
I watched a band, or I went to a concert last night, and one of the opening bands, their band's name was the Callous Dowboys. And I thought that was interesting, and they probably sucked. I didn't watch them.
Well, why not?
Because I was late to a concert. Okay, so we're on the Dallas Cowboys. Why don't you, Jay, read me any key acquisitions for the Dallas Cowboys?
Nothing really.
Yeah, that's what I got. Re-signing of Michael Gallup, but they did lose Amari Cooper, which I don't think is much of a loss. I'm not a big Amari Cooper guy anyway. So, thinking into Michael Gallup needs to be higher on your boards because of Cooper's gone, because now Gallup's your number 2.
Yeah.
So why don't you read me their starting lineup?
Dak Prescott, Zeke, Tony Pollard, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, James Washington, Jalen Tolbert, and tight end Dalton Schultz.
Dr. Schultz. So, okay. Lots of unpack here. Dak Prescott is so all over the place for me. I had him 2 years ago, the year he broke his leg. And when he broke his leg, Jay, he was the number 1 quarterback in fantasy football.
Yeah.
He was a monster that year. And then last year he was meh, right? He's going kind of where he finished kind of where he's going now, probably like quarterback 7, 8, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I'm still all over the board on him because I've seen him be an animal, right? And last year, yeah, it was his first year back from injury. Maybe he's a little timid more, right? He's probably going to run a little more. He's not a great runner, obviously, especially in overtime with 20 seconds left on the clock. But, like, I don't know. I really don't feel his receiving core got worse because I don't think Amari Cooper's good. So,
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to me, like, I think obviously Dak Prescott's a starting quarterback in fantasy football.
For sure.
Yeah, he's got
There's no argument there.
And like, if you think about it, like, I'll just throw you a couple of names. Dak Prescott or Russell Wilson.
Dak Prescott.
Yes, I agree with that. Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts.
Dak Prescott.
I don't know about that. What about Dak or Matthew Stafford?
Matthew Stafford.
I don't know about that either. Maybe. Stafford has the ability to level up again too. So second year in the system. So it depends. If Dak runs more this year, he's better than Matt Stafford. But you don't know because of that injury.
Yeah.
You never know because of that injury. So obviously, what everybody wants to hear about the running back situation. We got Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. I mean, what's there to say? Zeke was one of the best fantasy football running backs for years. Forever. And he hurt himself last year and played through it and wasn't fantastic. But the dude is not 95 years old. He's only, I think, the same age as like Derrick Henry and stuff. I think he's 27, 28.
Yeah, he's somewhere around there.
So, yeah, I mean, he just feels like he's old because he's been good since his rookie year. He's really been good since his rookie year. So I see mock draft Zeke going in 3rd round, and I'm all about it. I'll take Zeke in the 3rd round, no problem. I think Zeke could still be your anchor of your team. Like, I mean, if you're taking him in the 3rd round, obviously you got 2 options that are allegedly better. So if you're bringing in Zeke as your 2nd running back, maybe first if you went receiver, but even Zeke as your number 1 running back, I don't see a problem with that just because he had a down year. I know you hate the Cowboys, but you gotta like think about it clearly. Like, where are your thoughts on Zeke? Are you really scared of Tony Pollard?
No, not really. I just don't really like anyone from the Cowboys ever.
Bro,
so
we're doing entertainment for people right now. You need to play along. You need Zeke in the 3rd round. I think is a
for
smash.
sure. Yeah, in the 3rd round for sure. But
now, Pollard, I don't know. I'm not going into any league with Tony Pollard as my number 2 running back. Like, to me, he's like flex appeal. He's got flex appeal. That's
Yeah.
a new term. That's a new term we're coining here. He's got flex appeal. He's a lottery ticket if Zeke gets hurt, but like, I think Tony Pollard is quite possibly the best overall backup running back. You know what? There's Kareem Hunt and him. Like, I think those two guys are worthy of flexing. And quite possibly your RB2. Kareem Hunt, I think you could even sneak into RB2. But I don't know about Pollard as RB2. But injuries, forget about it. Guy's going to be golden, right?
Yeah.
But Zeke has also shown that he'll play through injuries, which is infuriating. Even if you just have Zeke too, it's infuriating because he doesn't do as good. I don't know, man. I know this is boring you because it's the Cowboys, but this is important, man. There's a lot of Cowboys fans out there.
Are there?
I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of Cowboys fans out there. So we won't dwell too much on it, but you need to get both these guys on your team. You need to get all three guys we've talked about on your team.
Yeah,
for the right price. Absolutely.
Are you taking Zeke and Tony Pollard together?
You know, I mean, is that the smart move? Yes. But, like, are you going to invest your 3rd round pick and your 6th round pick for one backfield? I mean, that could be silly to me. That really could be silly to me. I mean, it's the smart play. If Pollard falls, by all means, but if you're picking him in the 6th round and you already took Zeke, like, you're passing up on a starting position somewhere. Still. You know, so... And when I say starting position, I don't count kickers or defense.
Yeah.
Right. So if you think about it, you've got to fill quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end, and a flex. And that's 7 right there. And sometimes leagues have 3 receivers. So sometimes you got to hit 8. So if you're taking him in the 6th, he's going to be your receiver or your running back 2 or your flex probably. It's a little scary at that point. Especially if you have Zeke, you can start both of them. Right?
Yeah.
It's a scary like proposition. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on CeeDee Lamb? Because that's obviously their number 1 target.
I think you got to have him on your team.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's going as like the first receiver after the big guys. So you got like Kupp, Jefferson, Diggs, Adams. Who am I missing? Oh, Chase. Kupp, Jefferson, Diggs, Adams, Chase. Those are like the big guys. I'm pretty sure like Lamb's the next guy after them. Probably worth it. I mean,
I think so.
You're looking at that point, Lamb, Mike Evans, guys like that, who are all great with good quarterback situations. Now that Amari's gone, he's probably going to see more targets.
Yeah.
He's more explosive than Amari Cooper was. He's definitely an exciting receiver. So, yeah, you need to look at...
If Dak plays good, I think CeeDee Lamb's going to have a good year.
Yeah. You need to look at CeeDee Lamb in the middle of the 2nd round. So if you're picked in the middle of the 1st round, you probably start it with Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook. If you want to go receiver, you're probably looking at CeeDee Lamb there, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
I don't think there's anything wrong starting your draft with Christian McCaffrey and CeeDee Lamb. I think that's a good start.
Agreed.
For any team. Now, Michael Gallup, too. Like, Michael Gallup was always fine, but now he is the number 2, right? Like,
yep.
He's an injured guy, too, a lot. I know my sister has a big man crush on him. My sister drafts him every year. You got to take him, though. I think you got to take him in 7th, 8th round, maybe even if you want him. Like, you could do worse for a 2nd receiver on an NFL offense. Oh
yeah.
Like, I mean, if you compare him to like, Chris Godwin's probably better. Or what about Gabe Davis? I mean, obviously we're all hyped on Gabe Davis, but where's everybody else?
Yeah.
Right? Where's on a prolific offense? Because whether we want him in or not, Dallas is a prolific offense.
Yes.
Like Michael Gallup over anybody on the Chiefs. Like other than Juju, I'm saying like second receiver. I'm taking Michael Gallup, and I might consider Gallup over Juju, but I don't think I'd make that.
I think I might.
Gallup over Juju.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Probably not over like Mike Williams. I think Williams is higher.
Yeah,
probably, but So I think it might surprise people where he goes in these drafts, or if he's fallen, you guys need to snatch him up because. I mean, this is the number 2 receiver. He's a former, I think, 1st round pick, maybe 2nd. And he's on one of the best offenses in the NFL with a quarterback that's coming back and healthier, and Amari Cooper's gone. He's just a black hole. I hate Amari Cooper. So I don't know. I have a little more excitement for Gallup this year than any time ever.
Plus, like if Zeke has a good year, it's going to open up the passing game more too. So I mean, those two guys should see a lot more targets. So,
and are you looking into anyone deeper? I mean, James Washington was always a productive receiver, but off and on, and
he's like an up and down.
Who's the rookie guy? The next guy,
Jalen Tolbert,
or was he rookie last year? Does it say he was drafted this year?
Yeah, he's a rookie this year.
This year, okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm not running in, but you never know with those things. He's a guy to keep an eye on. I mean, Jalen Tolbert is probably better to draft than James Washington.
Probably,
football, I would say. Because you know what you got from James Washington. He might get you a big touchdown for the year. Right? Yeah. Like, that's who he is. But Jalen Tolbert, you never know. He could step in and be the number 2. You know, he really could. Now, of course, we got to talk about the tight end position, and that's Dalton Dr. Schultz. I stole that nickname from somebody else, but that's okay. I'm not that witty. I mean, people are looking at him like a top 7 tight end. I mean, I think you have to kind of view him there just because when you're in that point, it's all these just receiving tight ends. Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert. I mean, I know we hate to say it, but Dawson Knox, right? Like, they're just all kind of clumped there. Obviously, we're all going to probably range towards Dawson Knox, but I mean, numbers are numbers, right? Pat Fryermuth is going to be there. They're all similar last year. They'll all be similar this year, maybe. But obviously, out of that grouping there, and we'll know more about him next week, of course, Dawson Knox has the best chance of breaking out more because, A, he's younger, he's got the better quarterback. But Schultz, I think you need to look just as high.
Yeah.
He had a good year last year. You know, he wasn't even the starter coming into the year. It was Blake Jarwin, I believe, who tore his ACL in preseason. So then Schultz got going. And here's another trick for you guys with Dr. Schultz. He's playing for a contract, and they're not giving him one. So there's a chance he might want to ball out and make that money.
Yeah. I can see that.
So you need to not sleep on Dalton Schultz. Don't take him over the big 5. But if you want to put him at 6 over Hawkinson or something like that, I wouldn't yell at you.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think I would do it, but I wouldn't yell at you. But, I mean, he's got a better quarterback than Hawkinson.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, there's no doubt about Dak is better than Goff.
For sure.
Dak's better than the Steelers guys coming in this year. You know, Dak's better than Kyler Murray.
Yes.
Right? So, like, Dak's maybe not in fantasy, but I think Dak's a better NFL quarterback than Jalen Hurts. So, out of all those, like, mid-level, they're all kind of like these big, white tight ends. They're all sitting there, even with Gesicki and stuff. They're all, like, similar. Other than Dawson Knox, I think Schultz has got the best quarterback out of all of them. So that's something to always weigh about, too. And the best passing offense. So would you put him above Hawkinson off the top of your
head? It's a tough one. I mean, just because Hawkinson's quarterback is Goff, it's kind of like a ugh.
It's pronounced
so. Yeah. So, I mean, I could definitely be swayed to take Schultz.
Then that would probably put Schultz at like 6. You know, in your rankings, just kind of thinking about it. So the big one as Bills fans, what about Knox?
He's my guy.
Yeah, so I mean, he's tough. So there's a chance Dawson Knox is sitting at 6 for you, huh?
Yeah,
really,
for sure.
I don't know if he'll be sitting at 6 for me. Maybe close.
Yeah,
he'll be close.
I mean, the scary thing is for him is like he's so up and down.
Yeah. Well, he relies on touchdowns.
Yeah.
But you know who else relies on touchdowns? Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
So they both can't.
Yeah.
Unless Josh is going to unleash 50 touchdowns, which could happen.
And honestly, outside of your like top 5 fucking tight ends, they're all touchdown dependent.
Very well.
Outside of that.
Well, that's why you're right, and you're right, but you're off by a little. Outside your top 5, the next few are touchdown dependent-ish, but they're still okay.
Yeah.
But then after those like 5 guys, 6 guys, then it's completely like, I'm starting this guy, and hopefully he gets a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like that after like these guys up to like Gesicki, I would put almost at the end of this list. Maybe Hunter Henry at the end of this list. But even Hunter Henry's had plenty of games last year where it was like I had 2 catches for 3 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It was a good game in fantasy.
For sure.
But you can't you know what I mean? You can't just buy on it, right?
Yeah.
So there is tiers to it. So Schultz is interesting. Now I'm a little excited to see everyone's tight end rankings next week, to see where Schultz and Knox land, to see is somebody going to kick one of these guys into the top 5 and maybe put Kittle behind or Waller behind. You're crazy if you do, but you never know. I know you.
That's
hate
what we
Kittle.
do here. We do crazy.
We do crazy. Well, maybe just all my ex-girlfriends.
That's very true.
Not Mrs. Coleman. How you doing, bro?
We're trying to entertain people.
That's right. That's why we put you on the show, for the laughs. Speaking of laughs, let's move on to the the Washington Commanders with laughs. Their big acquisition. Your boy, your favorite quarterback. Who that be, Jay?
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz now. Again.
Also, I want to point out, you just made me say a lot of good things about the Cowboys.
Well, you had to. You're growing, Jay. This is growing.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So Carson Wentz, I've always said, not as bad as people make him out to be, but he's not great. So what do you got? Anything else on the arrivals other than Wentz? I know they have first-round rookie Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, nothing.
Jahan Dotson's a receiver. Now, what key additions? Didn't they sign a running back from the Bills? J.D. McKissick, right? That was motherfucker. Yeah, the Bills signed McKissick. And
that's right. Yeah, I remember.
Sons of bitch. That's okay. That's okay. We got James Cook now.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yep.
Okay, so read me their starting lineup, please.
Carson Wentz.
Your boy.
Yeah. Running backs, Antonio Gibson.
Your boy.
J.D. McKissick. Wide receivers, your boy, Terry McLaurin. Curtis Samuel. Dotson. Cam Sims. And then tight end Logan Thomas.
Who, I don't know if he's going to start right away because he tore his ACL. But I think that was like week 3. So I think he's got ample time to recover. Who 2 years ago was actually a pretty damn good tight end. So
yeah,
who knows where he's going to be. There's not much I think we're going to say about Carson Wentz. I don't think he's a starter.
He's better than Heineke.
Don't touch my Heine, bro. I started Heineke a few times last year because I went way too long on the zero QB thing and I screwed myself. But yeah, he is better than Heineke. But I don't for fantasy football. I mean, I don't know. We're doing our rankings in a couple weeks, but I mean, I don't really even value Carson Wentz as a high backup for me. So
no, not really.
I don't. You know what you get from him. So it depends for me. But no, I don't even value him as a high backup because he's a guy that, like, if you took Patrick Mahomes and you're like, oh shit, it's his bye week this week. Yeah, Carson Wentz is out there. Like, that's the best way to describe where Carson Wentz is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Don't hold him on your roster. Don't draft him unless you're in a 2QB league. But also, to be fair, he's got some pretty good weapons.
Yeah, for sure.
Terry McLaurin is great. A rookie wide receiver. Curtis Samuel is great, but he didn't have a chance to really do anything last year because of injury. Antonio Gibson is a dynamic running back.
Fuck you.
He's a dynamic running back who really wasn't that great last year.
Yeah. And who talked me into getting him?
That was me, because I was a big fan because he was electric. And he was electric. He, again, also got hurt. They had a lot of injuries last year. McKissick's the kind of running back that people were starting in PPR leagues all year last year because when they're down, he's in there. He's catching 6-7 passes for 70 yards. That's 14 points in a PPR league. Right? Like, that's not bad.
Carson Wentz is going to be doing a lot of checkdowns, too.
But maybe they'll retool the offense and he's checking down to Gibson. Maybe he's checking down to McLaurin. Samuel's that kind of guy. Curtis Samuel's that kind of guy. Right? This team could be a lot better than people give credit for. Now, also, they also have, remember when I told you, I think my 2 favorite players to watch in the NFL are Josh Allen and Derrick Henry?
Yes.
Well, I have a third to put on this list, and that is their young defensive end, Chase Young. He is a freak of nature. I love watching this guy play football. Love watching him play football coming off of a major injury, though.
We don't talk about defense on this podcast.
I'm just saying also for their defense, just a little click on their defense. I remember taking their defense last year in fantasy draft in like the top 3 or 4 picks because they were going into that year highly drafted, and then he got hurt, they fell apart. So they could rebound now that he's healthy. So just trying to keep that in mind for everybody. And I'm a big Chase Young mark, even though he went to Ohio State. But I'm still a big Chase Young mark. I think he's fan-fucking-tastic. I think he is the future of defensive linemen in the NFL.
They won a decent amount of games last year, too.
Yeah,
seven games is...
And they upgraded their quarterback.
Yeah.
Chase Young's coming back. They upgraded their wide receiver 2 and 3 because Samuel didn't really play last year. Right? So, like...
And Logan Thomas will be back.
Right, so they can make some noise, man. Okay, so Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Redskins. Rank them, Jay. Who's winning the division?
Cowboys.
That's so tough, man. I want to say the Eagles, too. Fuck, it's so tough between those two teams. I'm going to go... You know what? I'm contrarian. I'm going to go the Eagles. So, are you going Cowboys, Eagles?
Yeah, Cowboys, Eagles.
I'm going Eagles, Cowboys. Okay. So, and I think they both make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think they both make the playoffs. I think the Eagles are going to make a jump this year and be a contending team. And then obviously the Commanders are third. I mean, the Giants are going to be a joke. But
yes.
But I do think all these two bottom teams, I mean, I think the Commanders have a shot to make the playoffs, but I don't think they
son
will.
of a bitch, you just stole what I was going to say. I was going to say that I could see Washington. It could be Cowboys, Washington, both going to the playoffs.
Cowboys and Washington, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see. I can't see the Commanders making the playoffs over the Eagles, but like maybe all three could sneak in, just because if that defense runs back into shape. And I also think the Giants are going to be better than last year. But Giants are going to win 5-6 games, I think, which is an improvement. I think. I don't know. So. And then obviously we said we never ranked our NFC South last year, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for the both of us that the Buccaneers are winning.
Yes.
And the Saints are coming in second place.
Yes.
And then, who am I missing? Oh, the Falcons are going to be garbage.
The who?
Yeah, exactly. And whoever else, who cares?
Exactly.
I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But, that's that. And we will move on now to the famed, the vaunted, the AFC East. And we're starting with the reigning... Oh, no, they're not. The New England Patriots, they're reigning... I guess they're a reigning wild card team. They're reigning getting their ass whooped in the first round of the playoffs is what they are. So, key additions, I'm looking at nothing. Ty Montgomery, who was a thing 7 years ago. I'm looking at re-signings. Okay, James White. James White's always interesting, perhaps, but I don't really
Devontae Parker.
Oh, okay. See, that was because that was after this came out, then apparently. I like Devontae Parker. He just gets hurt a lot.
Yeah.
But Devontae Parker's easily the best receiver that Mac Jones has had now. So, I mean, that's good. I mean, he could... Devontae Parker on mock drafts, I'm looking at... I mean, I usually get him in like the 13th round. So, I mean, he's somebody that no one's drafting. You can throw on your bench at the end of the draft. And if he is Mac Jones' number one guy, cool.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't really care. Okay, sorry. What about their starting lineup?
You got Mac Jones, Brian Hoyer, running backs, Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson.
Ramondre, yep.
James White, wide receivers Devontae Parker, Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, tight end Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith.
Okay, so Mac Jones, I'm out.
Yes,
I don't want him. I just don't want him. Like, I know he was fine, as a quarterback, but I don't want him. They're not a passing team. I want nothing to do with them. Their running backs, I don't want them.
No,
because they share the load.
Yeah.
They're a running back by committee. I'm not drafting Damian Harris in the 5th round. I'm not drafting Ramondre Stevenson in the 7th round. I might take James White late just because of his pass catching abilities. But I'm out on all of them. Every single one of them. Read me the receivers again.
Devontae Parker, Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar.
I'm out. I'm out on all of them except maybe Parker. And I have a little thing. I've always liked Parker. Maybe I'll get him late. I never bought into Kendrick Bourne. Nah, he had a couple good games last year. Did you know Nelson Aguilar is one of the highest paid receivers in the league?
I did not know that.
They gave him a big contract. I'm out. I don't want him whatsoever. And then who was the other guy? Number
Jacoby
2.
Myers.
Jacoby Myers. I'm out. People try to make Jacoby Myers like he's Wes Welker because he's a slack guy. I don't want him. I mean, what do you think about any of these?
No one exciting.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Especially with their quarterback. Macaroni and cheese arm. Like, that's who he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's noodle arm. I'm out. The only player on this team that I would look forward to drafting is their defense.
Yeah.
Maybe their kicker. And I like Hunter Henry if I'm punting on tight ends and take Hunter Henry late. Hunter Hurst Henry.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm out. I'm just out on this fucking team. Oh, they traded away N'Keal Harry to the Bears. I don't care.
Nope.
It doesn't affect the Patriots. It might affect him. He might have, instead of 15 catches, he might have 22.
Yeah.
I'm out. Don't care. I don't care. I don't fucking care about this team. But they do have a good defense. And, obviously they have a good coach.
Outside of that, they're dead.
Oh, I'm not buying into Mac Jones. The day of the game management quarterback is gone. You need a star. You need, even if you're going to look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's not a game manager. He's like a star. That's what you need.
Yeah.
I just feel like we're rushing through this because I really don't care. I don't like any of them. I'm out.
There's a lot of New England Patriots fans, bro.
Well, your team is not exciting for fantasy football. You guys are going to you're going to have 2 running backs. You might win. You're going to win some games. And Damian Harris is going to have 14 rushes for 72 yards. And Ramondre Stevens is going to have 11 rushes for 68 yards and a touchdown. That does nothing for me for fantasy football. I don't give a shit. Don't fucking care. Mac Jones, I don't value as a low-end number 2 quarterback. Mac Jones, I can promise you, might slightly top, get in my top 25 quarterbacks, maybe.
Mac Jones or Jared Goff?
Goff. What? Is that even a question? Like, who has the better options?
Yeah.
Right? Like, who has the better weapons? That's not even a question.
Mac Jones or Kyler Murray?
Okay, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray took one.
Finally a win for Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. I don't know. Do you have anything to say? Because I just dominated this.
You said it all. I mean, there's nothing exciting about this team, for one. And except for, I guess, the defense when it comes to fantasy-wise. But outside of that,
and they're not even as exciting as they used to be. I mean, I make fun of the guy, but they lost J.C. Jackson. That was one of their, star players. They have to play, now if you think about it, they have to play the Bills twice. That's a shitty draw. The Dolphins are going to be better. They're going to have a better offense. Okay, and then the Jets, But, if Zach Wilson was out, fucking Bill Belichick's friend, nobody knows what Zach Wilson was up to. Maybe he's going to come in high and throw some touchdowns. No, we'll get to the Jets. I have nothing else to say about this team, Jay. I just want to move on to the Dolphins. What about you?
all right, let's go.
Okay. The Miami Dolphins, one of the biggest free agency moves of quite possibly all time, right? This year, with that trade to get Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Huge move, a lot of things. But they brought in a lot, Jay. Bro, they brought in Tyreek Hill, Teron Armstead, who's a Pro Bowl tackle, Chase Edmonds, who's a very good running back, Teddy Bridgewater to secure the backup, Raheem Mostert, who's coming from the Niners, where the head coach is coming from, the fastest, most explosive running back in the league, guard Connor Williams, wide receiver Cedric Wilson, Alec Ingold, a great fullback from the Raiders, Keon Crossan, a defensive back, and Trent Sherfield, a receiver from the Niners, but
Sony Michel.
Right, and Sony Michel's on there too now, so my God, bro, that is so much. To think that the team was pretty good, they were fine. They were almost a playoff team for the last couple years, and bro, they brought in a lot of shit. So now let's listen to their starting lineup.
Tua, running backs Chase Edmonds, Sony Michel, Myles Gaskins, Raheem Mostert. Wide receivers Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson, Preston Williams. Tight end Gesicki.
Okay, so Tua, are you out?
Yeah, I'm out.
A lot of people aren't on Tua. I'm not out. I'm not. He's not starting for me. I don't know. I don't know if I value him as a high backup, but I value him as a middle backup, I guess I would say. He'll probably fall 16, 17 on my QB rankings off the top of my head. I mean, he was decent last year, and his weapons, you saw it, got so much better. Even these running backs, all three of these running backs are better than Myles Gaskin.
Yeah.
Right? So all three of these running backs are better than Myles Gaskin. Obviously, Tyreek Hill is an explosive receiver. Raheem Mostert is an explosive running back. All he needs to do is throw a 2-yard pass to these guys, and he can get an 80-yard touchdown. Right? So the running backs. Who knows? Who do you like out of this mix? The answer is not Myles Gaskin.
No. Chase Edmonds or Raheem Mostert, I think, are the two bigger ones for me.
I think the safe bet is Chase Edmonds,
yeah.
Meaning he's the guy that'll run and catch and do what he's got to do, but like the home run hit is Mostert.
Yeah.
Like just because he knows Raheem Mostert, we're talking about the head coach Mike McDaniel. He knows Raheem Mostert. He brought Raheem Mostert over here from San Francisco for a reason, maybe. Or maybe just to help teach the guys. I mean, Raheem Mostert's in his 30s already. But he's only played like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And truly, he's only played like 2. Because he's been hurt so much. Sony Michel, I don't buy. And Gaskin's going to get cut. But, I mean, you don't sign Sony Michel. Like, why would you sign Sony Michel after signing these other two guys? Sony Michel was a former first-round pick at running back and was pretty good last year filling in for Cam Akers when he went down. So, I don't know what to say about these guys. I will take whatever. I'm guessing I will take whatever running back goes later out of those main two, Mostert and Edmonds, which is probably going to be Mostert.
Yeah, I would agree.
But doing my rankings, thinking about it, I'll probably have Edmonds higher than some people too. So I don't know. You're going to have to wait for our ranking show to get an answer, folks.
Yeah.
Now, receivers. Hill. Tyreek Hill has always been going as like a top 2-3 receiver. Obviously, he's not anymore. But where would you put him? After Mike Evans?
Yeah, probably.
Putting him after Mike Evans. So are you putting him... That's kind of where I'm putting him, like basically right after Mike Evans. You got your big five, and then you get Mike Evans or CeeDee Lamb, maybe Keenan Allen, and then he's right there.
Yeah.
I still might take him over Keenan Allen, though. I don't know, though. But what about Jalen Waddle? I mean, that's a PPR guy.
Yeah.
Not only is that a PPR guy, he had a great year last year, and he's Tua's college receiver, so they already have that rapport. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if I'm going to rank it that way, but I would not be surprised if Jalen Waddle has more points than Tyreek Hill this year.
I can see it definitely happening.
Because Tyreek Hill needs the yardage and needs the touchdowns, which he'll get. He'll get the touchdowns. But Jalen Waddle's that kind of guy that's going to give you the game where Tua's getting beat up and he's getting thrown to the ground a million times. Jalen Waddle's going to have 9 receptions for 72 yards and a touchdown.
Yep.
Which, I mean, like... That's the thing about Jalen Waddle. I've never had him on any of my teams, and I never seen.
He's going to see more targets now too with Tyreek Hill on his team. So
you're very right. Yeah, he's not the number one. So the more and more as the draft's approaching, I'm liking Jalen Waddle more and more and more. And I don't think I'm going to put him ahead of Tyreek Hill in my rankings, but I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes higher.
Yeah,
I really wouldn't. And then who do they got as this third receiver? Cedric Wilson.
Yeah,
coming in from the Cowboys. I mean, he's a player. But I don't think they're going to pass the ball like that to sustain 3 wide receivers.
No. Not with Tua, I don't think.
I mean, Tua doesn't have the biggest arm. We know that. But you don't need the biggest arm with Tyreek Hill.
No.
Right? So that's why he's actually the perfect receiver for Tyreek Hill. For Tua. They're actually building an offense that's perfect for Tua. they're not trying to go away from Tua. They're building an offense around him that fits his skills perfectly. So, and Mike Gesicki, exactly what I said about all those other huge, big, white, kind of doofy tight ends, right? They're all the same. But he might be like the end of that list for me. He's probably the one I want the least of all those guys. I'm dominating this AFC East. I'm sorry. Very passionate.
You are very passionate.
I'm very passionate about the AFC. Where are you putting Mike Gesicki on that list?
He's towards like the bottom of the like capable tight ends.
Yeah, I mean he's close to being not capable. Honestly, but
he's like borderline.
Yeah. Okay, so we're in agreement on that. I think they're going to be a lot better than people think, and I think Tua is going to surprise some people. Honestly,
I mean they were 9-8 last year, so
right. They were 9-8 last year, and think about all those people they just signed.
Yes,
I mean, so you win one more game, you're in the playoffs, basically, almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, so all those, you think Tyreek Hill can cause them to win one more game? Probably.
For sure.
You know, and Tyreek Hill, has a history of burning the Bills.
Yes.
Sadly, right?
Yes.
So it is what it is. So don't sleep on these Dolphins, guys. Don't sit there and sleep on them because they are kind of blah the past few years and you don't like Tua. You need to think deeper. You need to think deeper and more analytical about things like that. But speaking of sleepers, we'll go to one that's not. We'll go to the New York Jets.
Do we have to do the
I don't think we're going to spend a lot of time on them. Key addition, CJ Uzomah at tight end, who was frankly pretty decent for the Bengals, so maybe he's something. I don't care. Then they also brought in Tyler Conklin from the Vikings, so 2 tight ends they brought in.
And they drafted one.
Okay, give me the drafts again. Obviously, they had Cedric Wilson. And who was the tight end they drafted?
Jeremy Ruckert.
Okay. And then they drafted also Breece Hall. So they lost Jamison Crowder to the Bills. They re-signed Braxton Berrios. They re-signed Tevin Coleman. I didn't even know he was still there. And Joe Flacco. Okay. Starting lineup, Jay.
Zach Wilson, running backs, Michael Carter, Breece Hall, Tevin Coleman, wide receivers, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson, Denzel Mims, Braxton Berrios, and tight end CJ Uzomah.
So I'm not going to lie. Like, actually, that offense is a lot better sounding than I was thinking about.
It's not terrible.
Even putting Berrios at the end of that, Berrios was a pretty damn capable slot receiver last year. Mims is a former second-round draft pick, but I think he might even get cut. Cedric Wilson is the rookie, but we told you we're not excited about him. I mean, maybe he'll prove us wrong. But he's so vanilla.
Yeah.
That's what we don't like about him. And I was a big fan of Elijah Moore last year. Elijah Moore was explosive last year. So, to me, Elijah Moore is their number one. Was he listed as their number one? Okay, yeah, he's their number one. Who did I miss in there at receiver-wise? Oh, Corey Davis. Corey Davis is a former, 4th overall pick in the NFL draft. Like, the guy is talented. Talented as can be, but another guy that's oft injured. So, but we all know what the straw that stirs the drink is, and that's that motherfucker Zach Wilson. Is that his new nickname?
Yeah.
That motherfucker Zach Wilson. I don't know. Got to give the guy another year. I'm a firm believer in that. You got to give him another year. But he really wasn't anything exciting last year.
No.
Whatsoever. But give him another year. I know he's got big arm. He's got the receivers. I mean, he's running out of excuses.
Yeah, for sure.
I know it's his second year, but that receiving core is nice. Bringing in the rookie Breece Hall, and I'm a big fan of their pick last year, Michael Carter. That's a receiving back. That's a PPR back. Zach Wilson, nope, not even. Maybe he'll end up at the top 25, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, if Zach Wilson's on the board for a backup, I'm not taking a backup at that point. Like, I cut my backups after 17, 18 maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to have a backup. There's a few backups I'll have just because they could explode. That's the only reason I would do it. Now, where are you feeling about Breece Hall? Rookie running backs, that's tough.
I I can never trust rookie running backs.
It's tough, dude. And especially rookie running backs on a shitty team.
Yeah.
You know, I know the Jets can be better, but like Michael Carter's already going to be there. They drafted him last year. It's not like they're going to throw him out. He's still going to be there catching passes, the third down running back. I don't know. I'm not buying into Breece Hall. He's going like, I don't know, top 20 in running backs? No, he's not going to be on my team. He's not.
No.
Better chance that Michael Carter's on my team than Breece Hall.
Yeah.
0% chance that what the hell? Cedric Wilson is on me. What's his name? Is it Cedric Wilson? No, that's the other guy.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Cedric Wilson's another guy. I always say that. Maybe I should start a shot game with that. 0% chance Garrett Wilson's on my team, but I like Elijah Moore. So I could see Elijah Moore being on my team.
Yeah. He's probably the one guy from this team, I'd say.
I would say that too. That's exactly the best way to say it. The only guy I think is rosterable is Elijah Moore. Yes, Breece Hall's rosterable at the right price, but he's not going to be at the right price for me anytime.
Yeah.
Just he's not. I see him going in like the third or fourth round. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. A Jets running back, rookie running back? No. Nah. Anything else you got to say about this this football team?
No.
I hope JC Money from the Gear Network didn't hear me say that about his adorable Jets.
This episode's going to be deleted.
Delete. All right. Well, now it's time for the reigning, defending, two-time AFC East champions, them Buffalo Bills. Now, what you got, Jay, for key additions?
Matt Barkley, James Cook, Jamison Crowder, O.J. Howard, Duke Johnson, Case Keenum, Khalil Shakir.
Von Miller.
Yeah,
no, we don't talk defense, but like, dude, great fucking additions. Matt Barkley, Case Keenum, okay, something happens to Josh, okay, decent, you know. O.J. Howard, a former top 10 pick at tight end, I mean, I'm not saying he's gonna be an insane receiving option and replace Dawson Knox, but maybe he can.
Yeah.
Top 10 tight end, right? Like, that's crazy. Roger Saffold, Shaq Lawson coming back, Von Miller, Jamison Crowder, y'all, don't sleep on him. Do not sleep on him. Just because we went and re-signed Isaiah McKenzie does not mean Isaiah McKenzie's our third receiver.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Jamison Crowder is a slot guy. We lost Cole Beasley, who's what? A slot guy. Jamison Crowder, folks, is better than Cole Beasley. We literally upgraded that position. And I know that's tough for you Bills fans to hear because y'all love Cole Beasley. Jamison Crowder is a sleeper, for my opinion. But anyway, starting lineup, go.
Josh Allen, running backs Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, James Cook, wide receivers Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, Jamison Crowder, and then tight ends Dawson Knox, O.J. Howard.
Dude, this team is nasty. That shit is nasty. Is our receiving core better than the Jets altogether? No, we have the best receiver out of all of them. You know, but like Josh has already made Diggs into a star. Maybe Diggs made Josh into a star. Who knows? Obviously, Josh is en route to making Davis a star already.
Yeah.
It seems like. And he could literally make Jamison Crowder into being like the next Hunter Renfrow. He really could. And people sleep on that shit.
Yeah.
So there's not much to say about Josh Allen. He's everybody's number one quarterback, and he deserves to be. Not only does he have the strongest arm in the NFL, he runs like a bull. And he gets rushing yards, rushing touchdowns. I mean, there's no doubt about he's your number one quarterback, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, are you going to pay the premium and take him first, second round?
I'm not.
He's the only one I'll do it for just because I'm a homer with the Bills, right? And if he's there, I don't know, and he's sitting there around, I don't know, and I'm looking at him or Leonard Fournette or CeeDee Lamb, I might take Josh there. Right? Because, like, why not at that point? But that's just being a homer pick, and I would only do that in one of my 3 leagues.
Yeah.
Honestly. So we could be a little skewed. Now, what about the messy, murky running back position? Here's the best advice. Zach Moss,
yeah, gone.
Don't even consider.
Yep.
Don't even consider Zach Moss. So you're looking at Devin, James Cook, and quite possibly Duke Johnson. I think Zach is going to get cut.
Yeah, I agree.
So Who do you go with? Who do you go with first? Who do you draft first?
Only because James Cook is a rookie, I think you got to go with Devin Singletary, and he's like the number one guy.
You're right.
So
he is the guy, and they leaned on Devin Singletary pretty hard at the end of the season last year, and he was doing well.
Yeah,
he really was. So like, I know we're excited about James Cook coming in, but like, don't forget how good Devin Singletary was doing for this team. James Cook is the perfect player to add to this team.
Yeah,
the perfect, like, you wanted to get J.D. McKissick, you signed Duke Johnson. All right, you just got a 21-year-old version of these guys. You know, who is going to come in, catch passes, burn people. That's all you need from him. And he's going to line up in slot too. You're going to run a 4-receiver set with a tight end and then throw him out there and put him wide?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This team, and that makes me like Josh Allen even more. This team, I mean, I don't even know what to say. So going into receivers, Diggs, yes, top 4, top 3 receivers.
Yes. Yeah.
Easily. Gabriel Davis, now there's a lot of debate in the like Twitter fantasy football community. Like, people are buying hardcore into Gabe Davis, some of them. And a lot of them are like, that's insanity. It's interesting. I mean, he's a third-year player, best quarterback in the league, insane playoffs coming off of.
Yeah.
The number 2 option now. I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to say because, like, he's shown us that he can be really good, but then there's times where he was non-existent. Yeah. So,
well, he didn't have a great year.
Yeah.
But the end of the year, he was great. So it's like riding that wave. The problem with Gabe Davis, at least in the mock drafts, is he's going too high for me. He's going like in the 4th or 5th round. I just don't think I could pull a trigger on him that early.
No.
It's just
not for someone that you're not 100% sure what you're going to get out of him.
Yeah. But like at the same time, it depends on who's going around. I mean, if it's Gabe Davis or Elijah Moore, I mean, maybe I'm going Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
Right? If it's Gabe, what about, well, here's one for you, buddy. Gabe Davis or Adam Thielen?
Adam Thielen.
I don't know about that. Gabe Davis or Hunter Renfrow?
Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, I think I'm still going Renfrow at that point. So, and I'll tell you what, I think Gabe Davis is going easily 2 rounds above those guys in mock drafts.
Which is crazy.
Right? You're going to draft Jamison Crowder?
No, I'm not.
You don't think so?
I know you will because that's your guy.
I like him. I think he's good. Are you going to draft O.J. Howard?
No. Well, I guess... Well, like if you think your roster is good enough and OJ Howard's there, like with your last couple like picks or whatever, and you want to for some reason add a backup tight end,
here's my
then
thing. Here's my thing with OJ Howard. We went through the stats. First round, I think 9th overall draft pick at tight end. I mean, that's rare that happens. The guy's a freak, athletic freak. We all know that. Came from Alabama. Alabama guys are great in the NFL. Went to Tampa, and then as soon as Brady gets there, they bring in Gronk. He gets buried. Right? Okay. So, now, why the fuck did the Bills go and sign him like the first chance they had? Like, the Bills went out and signed him the same day they got Von Miller. So they were working on Von Miller, and they brought in O.J. Howard the same day. They didn't bring him in to block.
Yeah.
Right? He's not a blocking tight end. So, like, they targeted him. They went and they got him. That doesn't make me, I'm not saying for you guys that he is going to be the starting tight end or something, but they went and got him as soon as they could. So they have plans for him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think
is going to have to be like 2 tight end formations.
But this is the NFL. Like, that doesn't mean anything. They can run out there with Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, James Cook, O.J. Howard, Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and just people will be like, who the fuck, what are we going to do? We're going to have 2 linebackers covering these pass-catching tight ends, and then who's going to cover the shifty little running back?
Yeah.
And what about the 2 great receivers? Like, bro, like this team, like O.J. Howard could be such an insane pick that we don't even realize. Maybe it doesn't placate for fantasy. Maybe I think O.J. Howard could have the best year of his career, but he hasn't had a great year. I mean, he could have had 6-7 touchdowns, right? Like, he could be that guy that has like 24 catches with 6 touchdowns, which is money
Yeah.
Even.
It's going to be very hard for teams to figure out who they're going to cover with this fucking offense. So,
And here's the thing about the Bills. Here's the projections I have for the Bills, guys. They're going to have the number 1 fantasy quarterback. They're going to have like the number, I don't know, top 3, 4, 5 fantasy wide receiver. They're going to have a top 10 option at tight end. They're going to have the number 1 defense in fantasy football, the number 1 kicker in fantasy football. Bro, these Bills are relevant.
yeah.
You know, and like it's so cool. And dude, it's such an exciting time to be a Bills fan, and it's such an exciting time to be a Bills fan who plays fantasy football because we've been playing it for years. I mean, the only good player in our lifetime has been like LaShawn McCoy for the Bills, Stevie Johnson a little bit. Like that's it. Like exciting. Like I can remember 2 Bills ever going in the first round since I've been playing fantasy football. It was 1 year of CJ Spiller and a couple years of LaShawn McCoy. And that's it. There's never been a Bills first round fantasy draft pick. You know, and you know Josh is going to go in the first round. Diggs is a first round draft pick, right? So like, it's an exciting time. Let me have it about these Bills, bro. What do you think? Do you think I'm overhyping OJ Howard? Do you think I'm overhyping Jamison Crowder?
No, I think they're like really good additions to the team. And
Is Jamison Crowder better than Cole Beasley, or am I just talking out of my ass?
I like Jamison Crowder better than I like Cole Beasley.
Okay.
So
That's surprising because I thought you were more on the Beasley side of things.
No.
He's just a better receiver. Cole Beasley's a cool guy. People like him. You know what I mean? But like Jamison Crowder has been a serviceable NFL receiver forever,
yeah,
right? And it's just I don't know. This team is full of excitement. Isaiah McKenzie could have a big game like he had last year, stepping up into a role. I'm just pumped. I can't wait to see people's rankings where they're putting Diggs, where they're putting Crowder, where they're putting Davis.
Do you think we're going to be better than 11-6 like we were last year?
Yeah, because we fell apart last year for a while. We lost to fucking Urban Meyer. We have Urban Meyer has 2 wins in the NFL, and we're fucking one of them.
Very true.
It's disgusting. We fell apart. That was right around Thanksgiving, I think, or just before. Disgusting. It was so bad. So fucking bad. Okay, who's winning this division? The Bills, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think it goes Bills, Miami, both make the playoffs. Patriots, Jets, not make the playoffs.
Agreed.
That's exactly where you're going?
Yeah.
Okay. We're not doing our picks yet, but I mean, I think Bills are going to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's it for me. They're going to the Super Bowl. So it's not my official pick. We'll have our official pick show. But I'm telling you right now, the Bills against Tampa. I have time.
I can see it.
I have time to change.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're hearing it now. That was my pick the last 2 fucking years too. So, and Tampa made it 2 years ago, right? And the Bills were the AFC Championship game. It was that close. Last year they both fell a little short.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you look at this team, like we were 11-6, like you said, we fucking lost some shitty games.
The fucking windy, snowy, or the windy, cold game to New England.
And if you look at what we did this offseason, we didn't get worse in any position, but we got better in a lot.
Oh,
so,
my God, did we get better. Ooh, key departures. Looking at him right now. A.J. Klein, meh. Levi Wallace, meh. Don't forget we got a first-round cornerback, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be an upgrade. Okay, Harrison Phillips, I'm sorry, Bills fans, meh. I mean, he's okay player. You loved him. He's hard. He reminds you of Kyle Williams. Okay. We brought in Daquan Jones. We brought in Jordan Phillips. How can they not take his place? He wasn't that. Right? You know what I'm saying? Darrell Williams, you lost. Feliciano, you lost. Okay, whatever. You brought in Roger Saffold, who used to be a Pro Bowler. Cole Beasley, you lost. You brought in Jamison Crowder. Upgrade. You released Lotulelei. Oh, and you brought in Von Miller, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
yeah.
Right? I mean,
And also, like, Starr barely played for, like, 2 fucking years.
Exactly.
So, I mean...
Exactly. This is the team to beat, folks.
I think the one potential one that hurts us the most is Levi Wallace, in my opinion.
With the rookie.
Yeah. He's a rookie, but
Kyrie,
so you don't know.
It's fine.
But
It's fine. Because he's...
like, I'm sure it's going to be...
But here's the
I'm
thing,
sure
Jay.
we're going to be fine. It's just, I think that is probably out of, like, all those people that we lost, I think that's the bigger one. Because Levi Wallace did pretty good for us.
But here's the thing, Jay. He's not stepping into the number 1 role.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe the first couple weeks, but once Trey White comes back, now he's guarding their second best receiver.
Yeah.
So he doesn't got to worry about Tyreek. Remember, you should put him on Tyreek because Tyreek has burnt White before. But I'm just saying, he's got to guard against Waddle. Waddle's good. He's got to guard against Corey Davis or Wilson. He could lock him down. He's got to guard against anybody from the Patriots. Dude, I'm all about the Bills. But it's been a long episode already. Jay's sleeping over here almost. I made him do this late. Real quick, we never broke down our picks for the AFC South. So you got, what do we got? The Colts, the Jaguars, the Texans, and who the hell am I missing? Oh, the Titans. That's who won last year. Sorry. So it's the Colts, the Jaguars, the Texans, and the Titans. So Titans have been 3-year champs, probably.
It's going to be Titans.
No, it's going to be the Colts, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the Colts. I mean, they're a good team, good defense, good offensive line, killer running back. They brought in Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean,
I forgot about Matt Ryan.
Yeah. The Titans have lost a few key components. I don't think the Titans are going to suck.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be the Colts, the Titans. Actually, I think the Jags are going to be better than the Texans, too. So
that's bold.
That
is bold.
Second year of the Blonde Bomber, not with Urban Meyer.
Hey, Urban Meyer beat us.
Oh, that motherfucker. How could you even bring that up?
You brought it up first.
How could you even bring that bullshit up? Well, next week you better get your tight end rankings ready. Do we about 15?
I actually have to do work again on this podcast.
And B, we're going to have special guest Adam Van Houten back on the show. And C,
he's going to fuck shit up again.
Maybe, probably. And C, folks, we're also going to be doing a live mock draft for you guys because we figure the tight ends might go by quick. So we're going to do a live mock draft where one of us pick first overall, one of us pick about 6th overall in the middle, and one of us pick 12th overall, just so you guys can kind of get a feel about how these drafts are going and everybody can see. And we're going to play them true. I'm going to make sure everybody takes that first round seriously. Don't play around, and then we'll go on from there how we would take it. We're gonna break down what we're thinking, so you guys can kind of see how drafters feel and think and all that stuff. And I don't know, that's about it.
Hopefully, Adam doesn't fuck up the mics.
I don't let Adam touch anything.
Okay,
just not, especially me. Don't let him touch me. Well, Jay Coleman, song of the week. I wasn't prepared. But I decided I'm going to pick one because I went to a concert last night and I went to see Avatar, who is a great Swedish theatrical metal band, and I went to see Light the Torch, who has one of my favorite singers of all time, Howard Jones. So go ahead, pick which band you want to hear a song from.
Light the Torch.
You want to go with Light the Torch?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go with Light the Torch, featuring Howard Jones, former singer of Killswitch Engage, one of my biggest idols. And we're going to go with the song The Safety of Disbelief, all right?
The best singer of Killswitch Engage.
The best singer of that whole mid-2000s metalcore movement in general. Yeah, you're right. So we're going to go with that, Safety of Disbelief by Light the Torch, featuring my dude Howard Jones. So thank you everybody for checking out. Make sure you come back next week for the tight end rankings and the live mock draft. And I'm sorry, but Adam's going to be part of it. And as always, it's your boy Chaz. Thank you for checking it out.
I'm Jay. See you next week, guys.
And we'll see you the next week on the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. Oh, this was episode 7, right? I think.
Yes, 7? I think so.
So episode 8 next week. We'll see you then. Bitch.
There's nothing left that we can say. Nothing gold can ever stay. It's easier to run away. It's easier to curse than pray. No sacrifice, no burden. I can never be all that you want from me. And I am broken, I will fail you constantly. Return to the same day of
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.